There's a lady who's poor, with teeth caked in mould, and she's buying a cafe in and when she gets there she knows, with her breasts all exposed, a big fat bird she gets called a big
Welcome to the NHC podcast.
Woo!
That'll be as good as time to start.
Yeah.
Oh dear God. Hello, NHC podcast listeners.
Hey,
I'm James.
Bitches!
I am
Anthony.
James.
I am Anthony.
I am Colin.
Why are we hating on Led Zeppelin?
And Bono, no less.
It's a typical perfect find for us.
Yep.
Ah dear. Listen to them. Listen to that. That's at their best as well.
I know.
Back in the heyday.
Back in the day, aye.
Not like that anymore.
Back in the day, back in the late 90s.
But no, you're not going to hear them anymore because,
had enough, really.
they've had enough.
Yeah.
And they've made that very clear.
Yeah.
Well, no, tell a lie. They haven't made it very clear. One of them has made it very clear.
Yeah.
The rest of them thought it was a quote-unquote no-brainer to actually do the gigs.
There's probably a reason
They're off-
that
basically-
at least one or two of them thought that was a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Those kids will not pay
Yeah,
themselves.
basically
Yeah.
the background of this whole thing is they were Richard Branson's favourite band's Led Zeppelin, apparently, and he offered them $800 million. I'll just say that for the cheap seats at the back.
Pocket change for him.
$800 million, right, to reform and play 36 dates, I think it was, 35 dates.
He's around about
Yeah,
then.
yeah. And only 3 places, though.
I know, Berlin, London and somewhere else. Not far away.
States, them in the States.
Aye. Please tell me one of them was not on his fucking rockets.
And, well, the
No,
thing
they were
was...
going to name a plane after
they were
him
going
and
to call it the
everything.
Starship. They were
Yeah,
going to
yeah.
give it... They were going to fly
And they were
around...
apparently going to name the stairs and it's still
Stairway to
heaven.
Heaven, yeah. So I mean, the thing is, they were getting free fucking travel as well. Or I don't know if that would come out of the
Yeah,
800 million. Oh no, if it did. Do you know what I mean?
800 million, fuck's
5
sake.
million off it.
Like, you know.
35. One tour, basically. One tour that didn't even take them the full way around the world.
Yep. And so one of them decided to rip up the contract right just before everybody else had signed it.
I need to
He
make
ripped it up.
I need to make my point clear on it is mainly because it's like the
What?
reason I think that I'm annoyed and a lot of people are annoyed isn't the fact that they've cancelled gigs. The hardcore fans are annoyed. I think it's just the fact that it's quite a shocking display of entitlement and dickery.
Yeah, just an arsehole.
Yeah,
if you weren't interested in it, don't do it. As simple as that.
Yeah,
don't be a dick about
be
it.
an adult and go.
Be a man about it, yeah.
A nice polite phone call and say, no, I'm going to decline.
I appreciate
Then
the
again-
offer, it's really, really nice of you, but unfortunately,
Exactly.
you know, it's a slap in the face for fans, it's a slap in the face to the fucking rest of their band.
I don't know if
It's
it
just
is though,
shit.
because he's repeatedly said, I don't want to do this.
But why say then I want 48 hours to think about it? Then in the last hour,
Well, because you
get
can't.
there at the press
No,
conference
because
and rip it up
you've
for
got to
people.
remember, it's not like he went home and thought about it and then turned it down. He came
He was
back
there.
with
He
the
was there.
intention of signing
Yeah.
it pen in hand almost,
Yeah.
and then went
And ripped it up for
ha
him.
ha
Fuck
ha,
you.
like
That's-
a dick. He'd obviously planned that before
Yeah.
he left the house.
What a guy. I love that.
Yeah, man, guys are fucking.
I mean, to be
moron.
fair, it's a funny thing, and it's Richard Branson, and I think he's a clown anyway.
Yeah.
Piss hair.
Rich clown. But yes.
Very-
My
That's what I'm
God,
saying,
your
eh?
comment about washed his hair in piss or something like that was fucking.
He does
brilliant.
wash his hair in
It
piss.
does look like it, yeah. He smokes a lot.
Oh, just somebody else sits and smokes at his
At his
face.
face.
Aye.
That'll
Oh,
just
dear.
but yeah,
Explains all the
just
fires that surround him to be
It's a
fair.
fucking.
Ooh.
It's just
Well,
a
it's-
vulgar
it's not-
display
it's not
of
just
fucking
one.
power, though. You know what I mean? It's just like
I don't know. I mean, he's kind of him. He's always said, "I don't want to do it," and I think the 2007 reunion was for a reason. It wasn't just for the sake of it, was
was
it?
it an anniversary? Was it not John Bonham's?
It was something to do with Bonham, wasn't it?
It was. It was his son. It's his son. Is the drummer that played with, isn't it? James
He's an
Bonham.
exceptional drummer.
It's
What
yeah. I mean,
band was he in the 80s? Like,
Oh.
Sorry, 90s.
90s.
Kind of metal band, wasn't it?
the Bonhams,
Probably, yeah.
Bonhams.
Mini Bonham,
Jason and the Bumhams.
the Bonhams,
Bonhams.
Jason and the
Bonhams.
Bonhams, Argonauts.
There's always kind of been rumours about like Led Zeppelin coming back. At one point in 2009, I think, because it was the kind of time that Aerosmith were talking about ditching Steven Tyler. They were going to have Steven Tyler joining Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
Because Robert Plant has always kind of said, no, not going to do it. Because I think they got back together in the 90s and it was a fucking disaster.
I mean, have you heard Plant's solo stuff though?
It's fucking terrible.
It's
I'm
hippie
not a fan.
nonsense.
He's not afraid to experiment because he did that album with Alison Krauss and stuff like that as well, who's a big
But enough about
country
sex
star.
life.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe, obviously, I think maybe now he's, since this has just happened, science dictates this is the oldest he is at the current point. So
He's 66.
So maybe, is that all he is?
Yeah.
I thought he was
Surprisingly young for
pushing 70 now.
No, he's-
well, I mean,
no, he is.
I know that's pushing 70, but I thought he was like 69,
He's
70.
65, 66. I'm sure he's 66.
Right, so I mean, to be fair, there's people older
This is
than
the
him.
last. No, but this is the
Because I
last.
think he was
What I was gonna
was
say
the
was-
youngest in Led Zeppelin when he started, wasn't
Fuck's
he?
sake, really well. What I was going to say was
'Cause,
maybe in
Page
his
had been
mind he's getting to that point now where he's panicking and thinking, I'm not going to be around forever, and I don't want to just be
You
remembered
don't
as
remember as a fuck up then
just
get back.
aye.
Totally.
So again, I get that, but it's like there are much better ways of doing it.
Absolutely.
Aye,
Like say Paul
honestly
do
McCartney,
one off
we
farewell show,
dislike
something like that.
Paul McCartney for certain reasons other than that, but he is quite a nice guy.
I actually quite like him.
Now, the thing is, I mean, but the thing is, he obviously flogs the same horse.
Oh, absolutely,
But if
aye.
you were to fly a contract in front of his face for him and Ringo and say 2 fill-ins, say
Yeah.
John's son, or whatever, to do like a Beatles reunion, he wouldn't rip a he'd politely decline.
Do you know what's really weird though? They've
But
played
he-
a few times in the past.
No, I know,
Together,
I
which is
know,
kind
I
of
know.
cool. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But
they
they've
are
never
quite-
it's
but
not
they're
not the Beatles.
Oh, yeah,
They've
but
never billed it as that.
But they
yeah.
are quite pally. They're not like.
Aye.
Do you know,
But
there's
my
no
point
bad
is,
blood
like,
there,
if
so
Richard
it's kinda
Branson said, "You're my favourite band. Here's $1 billion. I'm going to get the Beatles just to annoy him," Paul McCartney would just be like, "Do you know
really need the
what?
money, thanks,
Sorry, no." And everyone's a winner because it's like
Yeah.
it wasn't going to happen
You
anyway.
you kept your musical integrity. That's completely intact. And you've been dignified in your response.
Because the way I see it, and I said this earlier on as well on Facebook, even if he was like, Plant was like, "Oh, I don't want to do it," just for the same old reason, I just don't want to do it. Legacy intact, everything else, fair enough. Just say fuck it though, and go. Do you know what? I can come across as a nice guy. It's about maybe 2 months of my life. I will
Give 800 million to charity.
Give it to charity.
Yeah.
Just give it to charity.
Come
Then
on.
Richard Branson's like, well, fair enough.
Aye.
I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to see them anyway.
I don't like Zeppelin.
I
There you
think,
go.
yeah.
So
I mean,
three songs or something
I
like
was going to say,
it's about
they're like the Paolo thing we were talking about last week.
3
I
songs.
just kind of feel like it's like they're not, I can't blanket them as legendary because they do
Yeah.
have duff stuff in there as well.
Oh,
I
shit,
don't
I
hold
mean?
them in the revere that a lot of people would turn
No,
and say, "Oh, they're
no.
the best rock band ever." Like, well, not to me, they're not.
No,
No, definitely
absolutely not. Absolutely
Definitely
not.
not.
Don't get me wrong, Whole Lot of Love's pretty good, blah, blah. But Jimmy Page is a child molester.
Wow. Oh,
he
she was back
is
to that.
a child molester.
Oh no,
Oh, he was- there
he had
was there was
sex with
something
an
happening
underage girl, did he not?
Yeah, there
And
was
for a while
something.
he was going about with 14-year-olds and stuff like that.
Yeah, there was definitely
By
something.
Oh,
modern
that's-
modern definition. No,
I know what you mean. I see what you mean.
No, there was some shady going on there. I remember
It's
that.
not. It's not been a U-Tree scandal though.
Yeah.
Yet, I know exactly. Yet.
no, because I think he was quite fucking overt about it in the 70s and stuff like that. I don't think
Aye.
it was a hidden thing.
Then again, you got to argue, as we always. There's children outside.
All right, okay.
It's the youths with cricket
The
bats.
youths.
Damn kids.
Actually, no, cricket bats are actually a posh way of
Expressing love.
Yeah, so we'll say it's probably about Buckfast bottles here.
All
But,
right, okay. Aye, sorry. I didn't realise the whole scenario about him. I heard the tearing up contract, but I didn't realise it was a press conference and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, that's the
Oh,
thing.
an absolute nod.
I think no matter what, that's just been my problem. It's like you don't want to be remembered for maybe doing a shit reunion, but you now are going to be remembered for being a dick about not being a shit. So it swings and roundabouts. You were right earlier off air talking about if fans aren't going to care. They're probably not.
No, I mean, the folk that are right into Zeppelin are probably, they're not going to care. Yeah, like said, Dave Grohl is still going to revere that band something chronic.
Of course, aye. Oh no, I mean, industry-wise, I think people will either, if a musician steps forward and goes, "That's a terrible thing to do," it's purely because they can then have a pop at them to make themselves look better,
Aye.
and they're also jealous because it's like, well, no one's offering me 800 million, so it's like, yeah, fuck you twice, basically, you know. So
Well, absolutely.
Although if they don't offer us $800 million to a podcast for Virgin Media, we'll fucking do it.
Oh, aye.
In fact, I'll do it for 8 million, never mind 800 million.
800 million, man. Holy shit.
Well, let's be honest.
That's
Oh,
more
in
money
fact,
you can
800 quid
comprehend.
will
No,
probably do it.
oh yeah, but actually start to think about the money of that.
bonkers.
800 million quid is almost unfathomable. All right, that's split between the whole band. Say it's
Doesn't matter.
200
Yeah,
million.
but I mean, that's 4 ways, tops.
Insane amounts of money still. Did he really have to offer him that much? Maybe he just thought, Plant thought, this is a bit of a joke, actually, so I'm just going to rip it up. Then he's going to realise, oh no, Branson. Oh, Richard Branson was it?
Aye.
He really does have that
I
money.
thought it was fucking Brian
Unless,
Danson.
Tony Danson.
Tony Danson, remember that?
I vaguely
Is that a
remember
guy?
actually him
Yeah,
saying
he
like
was
not
just-
even for
yeah.
100 million will we get back together. So maybe that's why he's went, right, if it's not for 100 million, there's 200 million. Because they've done that with Smiths as well. Folk kind of say, I think Morrissey said we wouldn't do it for 10 million.
To be
fair,
fair,
for
not
9 then?
all of them would come back anyway, hopefully. Anyway.
Sadly, some people would, but yeah, I know what I mean. There's big talk actually of Oasis getting back together, being announced for Glastonbury.
No, bullshit.
No.
No,
Oh,
that's
I
not.
hope
That's
it's
not.
bullshit,
It's
'cause
definitely not happening.
I don't think it's
shite,
happening either.
but-
Especially now that Liam's in the toilet.
Well,
Nice.
do you know something? I would have said, say, about a month ago when the whole Noel album kind of thing was getting going. He's obviously got his own album to promote. I would have said, nah. But BDI splitting up is a bit of a strange coincidence in a strange way. I'm not saying like he that needed to split up. That could have coincided, but obviously 99% of Oasis. So
I feel a bit sorry for the guy who left Kasabian to join BDI. I think it was a brilliant
I
idea.
know that was.
I don't feel sorry for him at all.
He's a
Fuck
fucking
him.
idiot for
Moron.
doing that. I mean, I'm not
join that?
Kasabian's biggest fan, but they're a great band compared to BDI.
It's
What
not
was he
even that.
thinking?
It's not even that.
They were
Why
not.
would
They
you
weren't
want to
playing
be-
any. They weren't playing gigs anywhere near as big
It's
as
not,
Kasabian
it's
or
not
anything.
as well. You're fucking taking a step back musically. Surely, as a musician,
Of course they are.
Like, not so much. Don't be a bit dick about that, but we're both musicians, right? And you're going to try and do something
Not
new,
so much
exciting.
you untalented hack.
I don't even know. I missed all that old bit. I don't know what you're talking
But
about.
what I was saying was the guitarist for Kasabian, he's basically fucking left somewhere. He took a couple of steps backwards musically.
The
in
only-
every way.
aye.
Because BDI are just rubbish. There's
Well, they
nothing,
are.
There's nothing new about them, and no musical.
The only possible explanation I could have,
Probably want to work for his idol.
The only thing I could see that, or he's maybe getting creative input, because in Kasabian it's all just Serge.
If he's getting creative input, then
Well, that lasted a while, didn't it? If he's
I'm
getting
really
cre-
glad that
Aye.
he's
Well,
not
if
doing
he
Kasabian then
definitely
for
did.
this.
I
If
mean,
he got creative input, it didn't show.
No,
No.
it didn't show at all.
all
In
he
fact,
does, all he is like he looks
embarrassing.
like fucking Kelly for Stereophonics, but about 10 years older.
Looking around a new place, it's true to yourself and looking for you. The devil never had a time to dance with you with all the thanks. Take it all with the eyes, 'cause it causes pain when you're alive. Lose it all, feel alive. Although no one can hear you cry. Should I be thinking when you're gone? It's all gone wrong. I'm looking for you. But what if we were alone in a different world? How can you sell my soul? Take it all with the eyes, 'cause it causes pain when you're alive. Lose it all, feel alive. Although no one can hear you cry. Just think it. Should that be racing mad last June? The silhouette, reflecting the truth of this affliction until the end. With your soul to end, take it all with the eyes, 'cause it causes pain when you're alive. Lose it all, feel alive. Oh, no one can hear you cry. Take it all with the eyes, 'cause it causes pain when you're alive. Lose it all, feel alive. Oh, no one can hear you cry. fuego.
Aye.
Yeah.
Are they still going Stereophonics? Are
I
they?
think
They've
so.
not announced a split or anything, but they've been quiet for a while, I think, haven't they?
Yeah, that's actually true.
I mean,
Saying that they're now probably at a stage where they could just tour without releasing anything.
they're one of those. I think that they're one of those bands that come
their
back.
last great single was probably
Dakota.
I was going to say maybe
No.
maybe Dakota, but I didn't really like
Mr.
that
Writer.
stuff.
Mr. Writer.
And that was even further back.
That's a great
That was
song.
about 10 years ago.
But
right?
yeah, that's what I'm
Aye.
saying. That's about the last song
Third
I would
album,
say
maybe.
was-
To be honest,
It's a
it was Jeep. Maybe that was on, and
Just
that was
enough
third
education
album.
to perform, yeah.
I think those first three albums, Just Enough Education to Perform, which I thought was quite a cool,
Yeah.
a quite cool title and stuff. And that was the last album I was into. But
That was the
you're
last
right.
one with Thing of Cable, wasn't it?
Yes,
I mean, their original drummer died, didn't
that
he?
was Stuart
Yeah.
Cable. Yep, he
Really?
died. Was it either? It wasn't suicide, but it was like
No, it was apparently suicide.
Oh, it was a suicide.
Yeah, yeah,
oh,
suicide.
it was. I'm thinking of somebody
Suicide.
else then. Because he was one of those guys, and I remember at the time I was still quite a big fan. I thought, oh, but he was,
Drummers are like
he
lemmings,
was a
aren't they?
big happy guy, and it's like it's always.
No,
the
it turns out
happy
he wasn't
ones.
a big happy
Ah,
guy.
no, he wasn't. Indeed,
He
they're
was
always
fucking demons.
It's like the fucking
That's
guy.
why he get kicked out of the band.
What do you call it? Because it wasn't. That was only about a year, maybe 2 years after John Lee from Feeder killed
Yeah,
himself
yeah,
as well.
that's what I was gonna say,
So the
aye.
Welsh drummers were fucking falling away. You're like, oh,
Aye.
fucking hell.
Aye.
So
fucking-
God, I can't. That's so
Welsh
long
bands
ago.
in general. Mannix as well. They're guitarist.
Rich
He's
Edwards.
vanished.
Where's he? No, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead. He's
Let's
a-
be honest. There's a
he's
lot
dead.
of diehard. I think it's quite sweet. I don't know if they still do it. The sweet notion that they still put a guitar amp up.
Yeah, well, they used to put a mic stand up and
I
stuff.
think
like that.
they've stopped
think
it.
stopped
They've
doing
stopped
that.
that
They
a
stopped
while
doing
ago.
Yeah, it's done.
It's kind of not a gimmick after a while, but I think they started to
Just
feel a
a bit
bit
sad.
embarrassed. It's
It's
a
sad,
bit of a
aye.
weird thing to do. So.
You
Nah.
ever seen the documentary
Saying
about
that, are they not? Did they not bring out an album entirely his poems or something like that they put music to?
Kinda.
That was the one oh fuck.
It's about 2-3 albums.
Three
It wasn't
albums
that
ago or
long
something.
ago, yeah.
It kind of fell down by having not that many great songs, funnily
Yeah.
enough.
Do you know what though?
The latest one's apparently pretty good.
I can't remember the name of it, but there's a documentary there. You've Google it, you'll find it, and it's basically them sort of explaining what happened to them. That they were up for get questioned a lot. They were up for basically getting accused of murder
Aye.
at one point. The band. It
The
was
band?
there's a really,
More murder?
There's a really interesting documentary about it, and it's basically the
didn't
whole
burn
band.
him.
We didn't
it's
burn
literally
him.
the band sort of going, look, we don't know where he is. We're worried about him. We're sickened by it as well. He was a friend, and he just vanished.
What? So they were kind of
They were in the frame,
being suspects.
Oh no, they were suspects. There's no fucking about. They were definitely suspects.
That guy was fucked though.
He's
Absolutely
still never
fucked.
legally been declared dead.
Yeah, yeah.
5 years, isn't it?
7.
They reckon.
No, it's 5 years after 5 years you're legally dead. So it's been a long
Maybe,
time
aye.
now.
Oh, it's like
It was about 2000, maybe 2000.
before that, I think.
It was before
90s.
thingy. Before
Well,
if you
before that,
tolerate
fuck.
this,
It was
Aye.
95.
because it was before they were actually big.
It was
Do you
before
know Holy
Everett
Bible
Must
Tour?
Go. Aye, so
Holy
it
Bible
was
Tour, so whatever that was.
95, I think.
Yeah. So, but aye, holy shit, man, that's scary stuff. Like, yeah,
There was all that thing. I remember when I was younger, like it was sort of late 90s when I got into Oasis and stuff, started getting into Manic Street Preachers, and even then, obviously not declared dead at that point.
Yep.
There was all these stories floating
It
about.
was a wee bit
I've
weird.
seen him. I've seen
Still,
him
his
in
family
Barbados.
still never declared him dead though.
Oh, I know what you mean. I know. Like
Yeah.
he died. It's just he's clearly something terrible happened and he died. There's no fucking nobody stays that. Nobody that's not a
They reckon
multi-billionaire
people
stays
are-
away for that
you know,
long.
most sort of the sort of main rumour was that he got in with the sort of wrong crowd on tour or whatever, and I think it was in Asia or something like that, something along those lines.
There was a lot of sightings in Asia apparently.
Yeah,
of
well,
him.
apparently he was kicking about there, and they reckon there's been some sort of drug deal, something's
Oh,
happened.
the triads
and it's
have
not, it's
got
went
him.
wrong, or whatever's happened, and they reckon
triads, Japan.
he's in a fucking pillar of cement or somewhere, or he's in
Oh,
a foundation
aye.
somewhere.
I think he's
Wow.
gone.
Yeah,
Aye,
that's-
he's been hidden,
That's
gone.
eyes.
He was in the wrong
I think they've
crowd,
killed him
wrong-
and not or he's been done in, or something's happened. He's like OD'd or whatever, and they've not realised who it was, and then as soon as they found out, shit, he's got to disappear.
Crazier things have happened.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
Crazier things like
People
there's
have
a
died by
story-
choking on a fucking sandwich. Do you know
There
what
was,
I'm
no,
saying?
but not even as obvious as that. Like what I mean is, people have disappeared for a long time, and for say, if
Elvis?
I don't just want to. No.
It's
What I
hard
mean,
to believe he
no,
showed up there,
but
didn't
what I mean- he came to the studio. It's
amazing,
Fucking hell, man! Best session ever.
Aye.
Didn't have to do anything. He was just sitting there
Aye,
eating
so-
cheeseburgers.
And Mackenzie went,
What age would he be now? 70s or 80s?
80s.
He'd be really. I guess because he was in the 50s. He started.
Well, he disappeared. I think it was the year I was born. I was 77. So
Yeah, right.
look
aye.
at that. Right about then, isn't it? So-
1877.
1877.
Colin's still not heard all the jokes.
No,
from the
but
last-
I kind of got to just it.
What I was going to say was, I
know.
know it's not music really, but the story I was going to say that what really threw me is in this day and age, because it only happened like
I'm only
last
21,
year.
folks.
A guy in France, I think it was a guy went and bought a house at an auction. Like the estate agents or whatever sold off the house because it had been. They were like, oh yeah, we've got a dormant property that's not been lived in for a long time, and it hadn't been dormant. What had happened was a guy, I think he was a plumber, just a mundane, just a regular working Joe guy, nothing extreme.
Just a guy.
Just
The
a
kind of guy
Go
Just
about his
Springsteen sings about.
just a, yes, the everyday man. He was just living there on his own, and he died one day. He hung himself, and nobody knew about it. And the house, I kid you not, it was something like 8 years. No one went looking round. He was getting mail. He had no family check up on him. He had nothing. And folk went round, and he just literally nobody went round. And then, without even checking the property, the estate agent sold the house on for the person that he was renting it from. They'd obviously, the fucking owners of the house hadn't even gone there to check the house before putting it up for auction. The new owner bought it at a steal because they went, do you know what? We've not been there in a while. They'd kind of forgot that they were
They had
renting it
this
to
thing,
this
aye.
guy. So this guy might have not even been paying rent properly. He clearly hadn't been. So this guy opened the door. The first thing he sees is the fucking previous tenant hanging in the hallway.
The fucking-
That's
8
heartbreaking.
years. So nobody for 8 years. And the thing is, if that house had just if they hadn't have sold the house, he'd have been still hanging there. So it was only last year, and apparently there was a suicide
Fuck.
note there where he'd hung himself in like 2004 or whatever. And you're like,
Heartbreaking.
Well, the instructions is to.
It's quite
The
heartbreaking,
instructions
really.
say feed the goldfish and put the cat out.
but it just shows you it's like folk can disappear for that length of time, and they
nobody
could be in.
gives a
People were living in the house next to them, the other side, up and below.
You must have smelled that,
Aye,
surely.
exactly. But everyone just said there was a funny smell.
It's
But
France,
it
though. I
went
mean, it
away.
might just be the
It went
cheese.
away.
It's just the cheese. It's the food there.
That happened to, there's a woman, there was a documentary on Channel 4 about that recently, and it was a woman that she's like, they thought she'd vanished, and I didn't think of it, didn't check her properly, didn't even think about it. She fucking basically, she sunk into the chair, kind of thing. Just,
She what?
She decomposed into the chair, kind of thing, and it was like,
Compost.
but they were trying to figure out her last movements and what happened, and still they don't know what happened to this girl, whether she just died, she OD'd, what the fuck, because she was so badly decomposed.
Holy shit, man.
And it was like, kind of sort of, they went into this whole thing about it, not, and it was her friends, and they were like, well, you know, she was quite a loner, and she was a bit depressed, but didn't realise, but like, lassie just, they basically said the girl vanished. Do you know what I mean? So they've opened the door and never realised, they checked the house, but she's, you know, whatever it's been. It's like they've missed the body kind of thing, and then they went back years later over the property and whatever happened. It was a big tenement block they were going to knock down.
Fuck's
Something like they
sake.
found her.
There
Can't
you
remember
are.
the things now, but it was quite fucking.
So Richie
it's a
Edwards
pure
is probably
shame.
Richie Edwards is hanging in a flat in London somewhere
I
the
kinda-
whole time.
Do you know what? I feel
But
sorry
I'm
for
surprised
people that
it's
just,
like
you
folk
know,
haven't emerged and said, "Oh, I'm Rich Edwards" or anything like that.
I tried
I'm
to.
Richie Edwards and so's my wife.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, they're probably
I mean, there was a theory when I might have said this in a podcast before, but when the Darkness got rid of the Scottish bass player about 2004, 2005,
Racist bastards.
the guy that came in was called Rich Edwards and looked kind of ambiguous, and he was bald. So and
brilliant.
that started as a wee sort of thing on forums online.
That's quite funny.
was-
that's actually just
It's-
that's just funny.
It's actually funny.
Yeah, they're like, oh shit,
Fucking
he's
hell.
came back, and you're like,
He came back,
thank fuck
bald
that-
and playing in
yeah.
fucking some shit band.
Thank fuck that stayed on
Sorry,
like
Andy, I know you
forums
like
and
them.
not the media. I choose to ignore you sometimes.
I'm sure.
And when the breeze you run through the hell. got the demon.
I'm sure that story would have been in the media slightly for a bit in some small way, but I never heard.
I missed it, but that's someone written all over. That's really funny.
It's kind of funny that maybe the media are thinking, no, it's a little bit too outrageous. We can't.
Because
we know it's not him.
I was kind of into the Armanics as it kind of happened. Because I love their first album. It was brilliant. I think it's a great rock album. You know what I mean? But
I mean, obviously, I think they would have went the same way. And he would have left regardless, because obviously he was the punk rock guy of the band. He was
definitely
cutting my arm and stuff, and you're just like, oh, for fuck's sake, mate. He was clearly a bit mental.
He had issues, man.
So, but I mean,
I think they were on nuts, though, to be fair.
I love how we got to that from Led Zeppelin.
Now.
Oh, yeah.
We got to that from Led Zeppelin.
It just shows you how much we really dislike Led Zeppelin, though. Like, we just don't give a fuck about them. 800 million just makes you want to fucking punch him again.
Is it worth talking about the other reason we had the mashup we had at the start?
Yeah, it is.
Bono.
Right, and that's enough for that. So next.
On to another annoying person.
Fucking
very
Bono and
loosely related to Bono, and the fact that Band-Aid 30 is out now by the time this airs.
Oh, it's already so it's out.
So
2
it
weeks.
came out on Monday
cool.
of the week this airs as a download, and then it's out as a physical release maybe 3-4 weeks later.
It's ironically enough, as I was coming out tonight on the radio, I heard Geldof talking about it, and he
fucking hate him.
Oh, I hate him so much. What he said on the radio was, "It doesn't matter.
It's for the children."
He's like, I said the same thing 30 years ago. It doesn't matter if you don't like the song or don't like the artists. Buy it anyway." And you kind of go, that's an ironic statement, because what you're essentially just saying is, give money away. Just give money to charity then. Why buy the single? Why not just say to folk, give money to
that's
charity?
a bit like this fucking Dapper Laughs nonsense.
Oh,
what the fuck?
rape.
Right, tell me something. What the fuck
I don't know
is
what
going on?
it is.
I've missed this. I fucked off for a week, come back, and people are like, what, hang this guy? What the fuck's been going on?
He's essentially
lad comedian
who likes to talk about, I don't know, I've missed it all.
He just tries to be what's the word?
Us?
Us with a bit more
only predatory.
With more predatory sort of sex antics. He's a bit. I think people have taken the wrong way, and he's sort of panicked a little bit because he thought, oh, wait a minute, controversial, that's what he's just trying to be the typical, like, overly controversial comedian, specifically.
This is like it's backfired in a horrible way.
It's backfired in the sense that I think there was that whole thing about how it was like, people were thinking it was like a seminar for, like, how to rape women and stuff. And how to
what?
I just seen there was a journalist digged him up about the album being kind of, is it for homeless charity or something like that? Something like that.
Oh, it's so convoluted, isn't it? It's so random.
I think it's for a homeless charity, and he talks about spitting in homeless people's faces and that. So a female journalist,
we've all done that.
Yeah, female journalist says,
with my cock,
what's the fucking point in raising money for homeless charity? And then so he had to dig back at her on Twitter, which led to her getting a shitload of death threats and rape threats, which is probably part of the problem with the internet era.
Well, the thing he said, it was just he made a joke about just after he apologised, and like ITV had sort of been backing him up and saying, no, his stuff is his programme and all that, it's all respectful to women.
It's all good fun apart from the rapes.
Pretty much.
To be fair, BBC said that about Jim Davison during Big Break.
and Jimmy Savile.
And Savile and all
the other ones.
But then this guy, Dapper guy,
and don't get us started about question time.
on the day this happened, he then went on TV, or it was a live show and a stand-up thing, and literally just went, right, that woman in the front row there, she's gagging for a raping. Like, he said, come backstage after the show. Do you want to come backstage? Bring your 2 pals there, you'll need them, kind of thing. Like, and fair enough, it's quite funny in a weird kind of sick way, but he shouldn't have been stoking the fire. I think he's basically thinking, hey, I'm making headlines here, it's good for publicity, but it's going the wrong way.
What I've read anyway, I'm like, fucking hell, we're going to lynch this guy.
Lynch is exactly what I was going to say. He's going to get lynched in the street now off of every woman in the world. Literally, people are going to bend over backwards just to not.
The bright side, we all look better by comparison.
Yeah, we do.
Charity single, Bob Geldof.
Yeah.
It's got
no rape in that, surely.
Bob Geldof really. Right, I didn't like the guy at first, but see after he's telling
the yes and no thing.
Yeah.
That
what
as well.
The fuck is like?
Stop getting involved.
Like it's not even that. Right? He's going on about these like.
Do you not remember the history of your own country, you dick?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Like,
speaking of which, Catalonia,
yeah, woo.
80% 80%.
Well done, guys.
Well, that's a little bit. It's a bit dodgy, that one,
Yeah,
to be honest.
yeah.
Because it actually means nothing, apparently.
It really doesn't. Aye,
That's funny. That's just like a referendum as well. So you know.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Hey! We must get about 4 of them a week now.
Me too.
Only seems to be racking back. It's
Oh
scary.
dear.
But I Geldof in mid-year, stoking the flames of their already dead careers.
Aye,
Pretty much.
But you've
Don't
got...
like Mondays. Well, I don't like you. Fuck off.
Well, that was one of my favourite
90s
Russell
Fridays,
Brand.
remember,
Aye.
as well.
That was one of my favourite Russell Brand lines. Like, he did the NME Awards and Bob Geldof came up and said,
What
Russell
a
Brand,
cunt.
what a cunt. And he went, no wonder Bob Geldof doesn't like Mondays. He's been living off that song for 30 years.
Yeah. But it's true. I mean, what the fuck has Geldof done? He's kind of like that kind
Well, I
of.
mean, he killed
What
off
the
Paula
Romans
Yates.
have done for us?
No, but that's the thing. See, when it's like somebody that's. But he's a fucking
Yeah.
Irish clown.
If you're gonna buy
Irish
if
clown.
you're gonna buy Band-Aid because it's got One Direction or Emily Sandy or any of those wank stains in it, just die.
Just die like the people you're trying to save.
Apparently it's for apparently it's for
Well, it's
Ebola. but
Ebola, yeah.
as you were saying,
That
just donate.
mystery.
Yeah.
Fucking these that
And
nobody
now
gives
Colin's
a-
confirmed it doesn't
Yeah,
exist.
like really,
Disclaimer
like,
might exist. It means that, wait a minute, Bob Geldof's actually taking all this money and lining
to
his
be
own
fair, right,
pockets.
I was only in Tunisia, right, and I'm quite sure, right, they don't really care, right,
No.
what's happening in the other end of the continent, right, but
Just like we don't
Aye.
hear.
right, but genuinely though, like,
London.
I was talking to someone about this and like, what, like, kind of
Aye.
like, what are you talking about? Like they knew it was happening and stuff
Talking
like that,
about-
but they were basically not really talking about, like, they weren't freaking out about it like the way we are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's because
So-
they don't have the Daily Mail.
That's true, yeah. Then you guys see the thing where they were the comparison is to the Americans and the British
We can't
press.
be that far off.
It was fucking. We are actually quite far off, which is terrifying.
Even though
That's-
our like generic Daily Mail headline is "Immigrant Snow Ruins Nation, Diana Weeps."
I'm bowl out of here.
Aye.
Fucking ridiculous. I just
Farage is one of us, says there's too many nignogs here or some shit like that.
Wow,
Fucking
Yeah,
I hate this country sometimes.
There isn't actually an extensive list of all the artists involved in the Band-Aid 30
Aye,
yet.
Emily
Yeah.
Sandy, One Direction, Ed Sheeran,
Ed Sheeran's the only one I really heard.
those
from One
wanks in Bastille.
Oh, Bastille.
Aye, I mean, I think I've had more eventful sneezes than Bastille songs.
Who's that one earlier?
Speaking of
Sure,
Ireland,
catch you.
I'm going
Get
for
it?
I'm going for a little day trip to Dublin in December actually. So
What?
no,
Where are you going with this?
It's for the children.
that's just speaking of Ireland, you know.
Oh, right, okay.
But Ireland's expensive. I mean, Dublin's an
It's a
expensive
fucking
place.
expensive trip, yeah.
So
Oh,
I'm
so this
like-
is why Gildof's doing Band-Aid 30 then.
That'll be it's funding my trip.
Aye,
Ellie
100 million.
Goulding, I don't know if I mentioned, she's doing it. She's
Oh,
involved.
great, aye, magic.
Elbow, Pull of Faith.
I'm surprised that Elbow get involved in that.
Fucking Foles. I can't read for shit.
Ben-
I can't
that
see for
is-
shit.
tell me about it.
Hang on, Ben Howard, Alt J, Florence.
Fuck's
And the
sake.
Machine.
And the Machine, well, whatever it's her actual name. David Bowie,
Ray. Fucking AIDS.
Because he's relevant.
George Michael, Phil Collins. Oh no, that's the original one now. Hang on.
I was like, no, wait, some of these people are
Pull
dead.
of Faith wasn't the original one.
She was.
Aye. She was just that sort of...
Ollie Murs,
I can't stick
Sam
that girl.
Smith.
I was going to say, the irony is, for so many of these artists, they'll probably be the only number one they ever get in a career.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
For quite a lot of that.
Oh, well, Bob Geldof's number 2 and all over them.
Number 2. I just realised. I was like, oh,
But, right, let's be honest.
it's talking about
Bono's
Paul.
going to get the same fucking line he gets every time because he's a fucking
Was it
diva.
Coke?
I
Aye.
was just thinking, do you want a 5 centimetres, 10 centimetres line?
How are they going to fit Well Tonight,
No, that's
Thank
Coke.
God It's Them Instead of You into a song about Ebola?
I don't know, I reckon me and James could fucking come up with a song about Ebola in about 10 minutes.
Oh, we had one on the week you weren't here. Sadly, it didn't air.
No, true.
It was
I
essentially...
can't help but think my trip to Africa has probably prompted a few Ebola jokes.
Oh, at least 3.
Aye, I'm sure it was, aye.
Oh, I think we, over the 2 episodes, we must have talked about it quite a bit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Aye, so Band-Aid 30 is a bad thing. Don't buy it. Give your money straight to charity.
Give your money,
They just give your money to charity.
because you don't know how much they're creaming off the top of
Of
these
course they
things.
don't. Do you know what? Seriously, man, fuck, save your fucking, what is it?
Yeah.
£3, whatever it is.
It'll be.
£4.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, it's 99p for
is
the
it 99p,
download,
right?
but it's £4 for the physical.
Right,
I
that's what I
say
thought,
it
right.
depends because I wasn't
Because
sure.
Tracy Emin's designing the logo or some shit like that.
Right, so again, for fuck's sake, just know
If
Just get it to if you're in that kind of thing, that's great. You're probably the kind of person that buys now fucking 32. Just stop. Stop.
That's who's buying it anyway.
You know what I mean? Just
That's
stop.
who's
Just
buying it.
fucking stop. Just put your money with.
Well, that's it. Especially
charity you give a shit
especially when the big argument is you might not like the artist, you might not like me, but just buy it. Fuck's sake.
Well,
It's a
yeah, cool.
ridiculous statement.
That's an instruction for.
It's a
Here's
fucking
how to just give money to
awful,
charity.
awful statement.
Why don't you take your money and piss it against the wall?
Oh, we do that every weekend anyway.
Aye, well, that's true.
Is this the end of your world? You threw it away as soon as the bells rang in this year. We're counting down for reach the end. It's not for us to comprehend. Will you get what's implied here? Roll your eyes at me until you realize what lies beneath it. 5 in the morning and I'm no longer trying. The tables turned, the room is caught. A glimpse of your complexity. We could come with now and no one would be mourning. Who have you got left to blame? You drove them away with all the devotion in your self-worth. But there's more things to victory, and all your slurs are linked to me. Will you get what's implied here? Roll your eyes at me until you realize what lies beneath it. 5 in the morning and I'm no longer trying. The tables turned, the room is caught. A glimpse of your complexity. We could come with now and no one would be mourning. What if we start to the new year? What if we start to the new year? What if we start to the new year? What if we start to the new? If this was the end of your world, would you feel for it? Or would you just wallow in defeat? Roll your eyes at me until you realize what lies beneath it. 5 in the morning and I'm no longer trying. The tables turned, the room is caught. A glimpse of your complexity. We could come with now and no one would be mourning. Roll your eyes at me until you realize what lies beneath it. 5 in the morning and I'm no longer trying. The tables turned, the room is caught. A glimpse of your complexity. We could come with now and no one would be mourning. No one will be mourning.
No, but
Geldof's.
I'm totally serious though.
Talking
like,
about piss here.
Just stop.
Geldof these days has got that as well. Fucking
Yeah.
hell, honestly. I mean, look
What
at
is
that.
it with these celebrities?
What's that?
Oh yeah.
He's just.
That's mid-year.
That's oh, he'd wishes he had any hair.
Aye, he'd be happy with that.
He'd be happy with.
Is he not
Vienna.
involved? Is he not involved in it as well?
Who?
Yeah, he writes it generally.
Well,
he wrote
he
the-
was the same.
he wrote the
duo.
original one, and Bob
Is it-
Geldof phoned
is it
everyone.
Is it the same song though? They're going to be doing. Or
Aye,
is
I
it a
think
new
so.
song?
Aye, I imagine. Well, maybe
Little bit of twist on it.
maybe not feed the world, because that could end badly if you feed people fruit
Well,
bats
that's
and
it,
shit like
that's
that.
it.
That's what actually gives them a bowl.
I've got a funny feeling with the sort of rough same tune.
Yeah. Well,
Anorexics, everyone freaking out. At that.
Is it just me? Remember that one? Remember that one in that line that Bono sings in the original one?
Well, tonight, thank God it's Simon Sadia.
Is that a contra? Is that as wrong as I always thought it sounded?
Well, it's that sort of.
Isn't that like us saying it's them dying and not us?
Yeah.
But that's a really fucking
It's quite
horrible thing to say.
racist in a way, isn't it?
Aye.
Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Of course they do.
Aye.
Get calendars.
Don't they get advent calendars? They're fucking.
I was going to say they
Some
have,
of-
they
some
have
of
the
them-
internet in 1984.
I heard some of them live off the advent calendars for like a month.
Oh God!
It's a sin though because he keep
We're
dying.
I
going
thought
there.
you had, you had that serious face on. Like
it's-
that wasn't
the
going
thing
to
is,
be a
though,
joke.
it's a pure sin because they've actually banned the Lego ones out there because it's like obviously loads of kids were dying because they were eating the Lego. It's a sin, man. Fucking those shitting at Lego garages and stuff like that. It's a
God.
fucking mess.
Imagine that, you just eat all the Lego up and then shit out or spew up a whole thing.
Spew up a whole White Stripes video.
Speaking of tangents, we go on.
Yeah. Oh dear.
Tell you what,
Fell out with the girl.
well, you've got yes, bring it back to music at least. No, there's people not touring Led Zeppelin, Fleetwood Mac.
Oh, fuck.
They're not
Sorry.
exactly.
But still, they're giving up arena dates to do the Band-Aid song.
Really?
Really?
You mean they never sold many tickets and thought, let's fucking
That's
just ditch
exactly
this?
what's
It's like-
happened.
it's
There's
a good
only so many
excuse here.
folk who like Pompeii.
That's
mainly folk from Pompeii.
That's interesting. Arena dates for Bastille, surely.
So
not.
they say. Well, it's a bit disheartening that they're that level, but then again,
That doesn't surprise me in the slightest. They haven't
it
been
could well
killers.
be.
Latest news on the NME. Foo Fighters Taylor Hawkins says U2 album sounds like a fart. Yes!
At least
Just-
someone's listened to it.
I've
Then.
got to get it right in there. Loving
Yeah.
it.
Well said, Taylor.
I
with
genuinely
your-
can't stand you two. I just
I'm not
never
a fan.
have done. Just people always. I mean, they've got that song up. It's
The drummer
so
also compares the release of Songs of Innocence to George Orwell's 1984. That's a very strange thing to say.
Is Taylor back on the drugs?
or he's
That's so awesome.
off, or he's
He's
off them.
aye.
Aye, he's got a bit outspoken all of a sudden. For a guy who just has very shiny teeth.
He does have shady
He does have
teeth.
very shady teeth. Do you know what?
Every time I've seen him, that's what struck me.
I love it
his
when a
teeth.
really kind of high.
What, did it hit you with them?
He smiled and you can see you're
Stop
blinded.
my face!
But it's great when people. It doesn't matter if it's Taylor Hawkins is for a drummer in a band. Taylor Hawkins is a well-known guy.
Yeah. Oh,
Drummers
definitely.
tend not to be. Right, let's be honest. But
harsh as fuck,
so what he
James.
said
It's harsh as
is
fuck.
the drummer made
True
a comment to the music via Consequence of Sound, saying of the album, which was gifted (brackets) to iTunes users or quotes, I should say. I don't know that any of that new album has anything great on it. I listened to it once, but it's so marred by that whole sort of, like I said, Orwellian 1984 extreme that it just kind of sounds like a fart any way you listen to it. Fair play to you. That's a brilliant thing to
Do
say.
you know, what kind of annoys me about that, not what
That somebody's
Hawkins has
actually
said.
gave him a fucking listen.
No, not what Hawkins has said at all. The fact that NME are reporting that as their own, but they're quoting directly from someone else.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I know.
Fucking arseholes.
They're just looking for, yeah.
I know it's not like we're doing that right now.
Well, we've at least acknowledged where it.
I
Yeah,
acknowledge
yeah.
it's enemy. And speaking of arseholes, where's my fucking certificate?
Slash
Arseholes.
free beer.
Oh no, I raped the free beer off them. No, that's probably what it was. They probably looked back at the CCTV and went, why did we end up with no beer at the end of the night? There's that Scottish prick drank it all.
Aye.
There's that Scottish prick lying in a fucking gutter.
Aye, nearly was. That's a dodgy thing to do. We were drinking all day because why the fuck wouldn't we? And then we got there and get free beer, having to get a bus home. We were fucking on a knife edge not to fucking end up caved out somewhere in the
Aye.
street. Oh well,
Wow.
that would have been funny.
That would have been funny. Actually, that'd be funny. That's a shame. That would have been funny. Well, something else we've not. I'm pretty sure we'd something else.
Not
to
so
talk
much. I mean, there's been
I really can't remember.
there's
if we
been
do or
some
not.
news. Kings of Leon have got a new album coming soon.
Have they?
Brackets.
All right,
That's a
man.
band that I never ever liked. I can never get into them.
First 3 albums I really
No.
liked.
Just never
Oh,
got
sorry.
it.
Was it any doubt that Chris Martin, let's not forget, is on Band-Aid 30?
Oh yeah,
of course he is.
Deliberately bypassed him.
Is he?
Because
Is he?
he's a
I'm
given.
surprised at that. I didn't think he'd been doing that.
all
Fucking-
the zingers tonight, Colin.
No.
Wait, did we?
See, this actually makes you look as if I've got a clown nose.
Hang on, it does exactly look like that. Did we did we at any point actually say that Simon Neil's solo album was confirmed? Because apparently it is confirmed.
Boom.
There you go.
We broke news last week.
Yeah.
That is now
Simon,
out of
That
date.
is now real news.
Simon Neil talks new Biffy album and new solo project.
Is it going by that XOY whatever the fuck he called himself,
Let's just find out.
or is he? It's interesting though. Do you think that'll be the end of Biffy, or is it he's just got so many obscure
But
ideas?
Biffy is him though.
Well, remember he's the sole
Songwriter.
songwriter. They don't get songwriting credits so far. Let's see if these words here. Again, this is NME, but it'll be everywhere. Simon Neil said, brackets or quotes even. We're getting brackets the next album together. Realistically, it won't be out till the end of next year. We're working on the songs just now. We're not rushing it. It's been in everyone's faces for the last couple of years, so it's important that we disappear. We'll
And
come back
opposites for
all guns
shit.
blazing. The frontman has also shed light on his new solo project ZZC. The first material from which was on the Radio 1's Drive rescoring. Neil said, I've got 7 or 8 songs for that. After the first 3 Biffy albums...
I've done 7 or 8 songs.
I know. I've got 7 or 8 songs. After the first 3 Biffy albums, I did a thing called Marmaduke Duke. But it tells you that's the side project. Look that up for yourselves, folks. To try and cleanse myself and come back to rock music recharged. I've been in that zone for the last few months, working on piano and electronic stuff, more kind of soundtracky things. So I'll get that out of the way while we're making the Biffy record, because it reinstills my belief in rock music, my love of screaming and smacking guitars. It's just what I need. So there you go. So yeah, so
right,
confirmed ZZC will have an album. I'm kind of surprised.
He's not screamed or smacked guitars in some time.
To be honest, the last time
probably Puzzle, and that was at a stretch.
I see Puzzle.
Yeah,
I'm going to say
I agree with that.
A video that's online of a rare thing that he hardly ever did it, and I was probably the only person to ever video this first. Anyway, he destroyed a Strat. Yeah, that was straight to the press.
Destroyed his own cock.
He smashed a bit. Was it Pontypridd in Wales? It was a festival thing. I was down there for, long story short, it was an ex-girlfriend and we won a competition. We went down. We were standing inside of the stage, and I thought, hey, I'll film the last song just because it's the last song. And lo and behold, this Strat, the whole competition was, her artwork was going on the front of it. Now, it was a Squire, it was a craps cheap Fender, given to him that day. It was only played in the last song, and I thought, that's not how they build it. They build it as he'd play it at the last gig, at the gig. So anyway, he puts this guitar on, straps it on, and plays the song, destroys it, and fucking, I think he actually tried to set it on fire as well.
As you do.
She gets the bits, and I think she's now framed it. This was about 8 years ago. So I filmed that and put it on YouTube, and it got a lot of hits because he'd never been that crazy before. Certainly not on video. You know, this was 2006. It wasn't like camera phones were absolutely everywhere.
Yeah. It's not long before Puzzle as well then.
But that's what I was going to say.
Yeah,
that
just
was,
before
Puzzle was recorded. I think Puzzle was pretty much recorded at that point, and it came out in 2007, or they were just about to start recording it. And to me, that's the last time he was crazy. That's the last, and seeing that first hand.
I've not really seen it.
It's been about 7 or 8 years since he's been a proper rock star on stage.
I agree with that.
So, I mean, not saying yet. I mean, obviously, the songs are more intricate now, and that's actually what he said, and it's just popped in my head. He said the reason he's not as mental is because the songs are harder to play and sing.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You know,
but the thing is, as well, I mean, like, what annoys me
sometimes it is. I think what he said is they have to be treated with more respect. See, the older ones, some of those riffs you could fly about your hand on the guitar and it would kind of sound cool.
Yeah.
These ones are now more chordy. They have to be in tune, or it'll sound utterly terrible.
I don't know what it is, but the last album I just could not get it.
Didn't get off.
I
mean, don't get me wrong, I still kind of hum Sting and Bell every now and then, but
you hum of what?
You hum of
what?
Exactly. Nice. I just don't
Bell.
get like there's too many ballads on there. Like to the point where you're like that
they aren't. I don't even think they were supposed to be ballads. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
it's almost overproduced.
Yeah, definitely.
You know?
I thought that'd be the album before that as well.
I know.
They did the whole thing of it's a double album. There's not even one album's worth of material on it for me.
Yeah,
or barely, or there is barely. And you'd let it go if there was.
I think it's an EP at a stretch.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's basically like they've actually, like, Seasons Mountains, I think they've realised
Mountains was stunning.
That's the kind of single we would need to write, and they've been able to do, like, say 2 of those every album.
I mean,
and that's it.
Many of horror. Sorry,
Many of horror.
Brain fart.
Just these cock coming over the mountains.
Oh dear. Sorry, Manny.
Kill it with fire.
It would still come back.
But that was pretty
Vernier.
Brilliant. The problem with it is it then got taken and called Collides.
When we collide. When we collide.
Do you actually know that?
I'm just making it up now.
No, it's alright to forget the shitty X Factor version.
Aye.
Speaking of, what was the guy's name again?
Matt Cardle.
The best thing I ever saw, it was last Christmas on, I think it was on NME.
And he's got a life-size poster just on his roof.
I've got him tattooed to my chest.
But the weird thing is though, his face is cut out, right, and it's actually Jamie's face. He's put on it. With mirrored out eyes.
That's haunting.
Full of acid. On this website, it was either NME or something. At the top, there was like your typical banner advert you get on websites, and I shit you not, I posted it on Facebook. I took a screenshot of it, or it could have been Limmy posted it actually, and I reposted it. Basically, there was a competition to win. And it was this big poster that was like a Starry Night with the London Eye, and it was like Matt Cardle's face and all that, and I think it was an animated banner as well, and it was win a trip on the London Eye with Matt Cardle That
Fuck
was
off.
So that's why he'd lowered him in the
was
space
gonna
of like 2 years. he's lowered
Ironically, he'd
himself.
probably pay you to do that now.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
this was like 2013.
That's a shame,
Oh
innit?
my god, I could have pissed myself laughing looking at this. It was just his face, and you just thought the prize, a shit. It was just you go in a carriage in the London Eye for a trip round it, and you come down. And that's your prize. You stand there awkwardly looking at Matt Cardle.
That's
the thing,
an
like, the guys-
odd competition, isn't it?
It's fucking ridiculous,
That's
retarded.
insane.
The guys that win that don't even get rich because they don't write their own songs.
Yeah,
No, I
sure,
know.
yeah.
So like,
only Simon Cowell's the winner there.
aye. So I don't know.
and even that, does he look like a winner?
If a band had a one-hit wonder, I don't know, maybe Wheatus or something bigger than that, but a band had a one-hit wonder that they wrote themselves, at least they'll get the royalties for that on a fairly regular
To be
basis.
fair, Wheatus probably did make and still are making a fortune off that.
Fair
There's
enough.
two bands out at the moment that I'm like, oh, it's a shame you guys are going to be a one-hit wonder. What's that? It was, a Canadian band.
Avril Lavigne.
Why'd you gotta be
That's
so
it,
rude?
that-
Magic.
They're no, it's not
Shite band name.
Aye, but they're definitely a one-hit wonder.
What, the song with Rude?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
yeah.
not Magic. I was going to say the band name's Magic.
Aye, Rude. They're just gone.
I
They're
know.
literally it's a one-hit
It's actually,
wonder.
do you know what? And I can see potential in that band. It's a catchy enough tune.
Aye,
Do you know what I don't get? Actually,
But
speaking
it's
of one-hit
nothing that
wonders,
hasn't been done by
No,
like
it's- I
Them
know.
and that
Megan Trainor.
I can. Oh, it's a kind of boy band. In my American
Oh,
apparel underwear.
5 Seconds of Summer.
Yeah, them. They're
Australian.
another band. They're gone.
Oh no,
They're-
totally.
listen, I feel
I
sorry
don't know
for them.
how 5 Seconds of Summer are so
They
big.
showed up.
But my point is, see, I don't understand, but not even so much them because there's a lot of push. Megan Trainor with all about that bass, whatever. How is that? Like, where does she come from?
Oh,
Where does a person like that come from all of a sudden?
She looks like
and
the
be
girl from
so
Hollyoaks.
famous.
Same
Looks like
Because
she's
she will
like-
disappear.
Aye, but it's the same place as that one that did that
Aye,
song.
right into a Burger King.
She's kind of hot in a weird
Who
way.
was like the
Oh, I'm not
really
saying
young
she's
girl
hacky,
that
I'm
did a
just
song
saying
about a Friday night?
Oh, you mean fucking Rebecca Black?
That.
No, well, that's strange because that was our parents bought her that from a company. The whole story with that
Yeah.
was they went to a company in California and said, for how much would it cost to have a well-produced video and sing, or produced to
Yeah.
the standards? They must have seen
Yeah.
their work. How much for that style for our daughter? And they quoted them like, "Oh, that'll cost you $5,000." So they paid it, and it wasn't the fact that it was like either good or bad. It was the fact that it was so bad
Aye,
that they were
it was
pure.
hilariously
And the
good.
story behind it was they were basically
Yeah.
paying for our fame. But
Bring back hatred.
Yeah.
hatred, I know.
Hatred.
Again, isn't it funny how these things always? That was meant
It's
to be.
very kinda
It was
cyclical,
meant to
isn't
be
it?
one thing. That documentary was all okay. Fair enough. They probably knew the documentary wasn't meant to be serious. The guys,
don't
the
think
guy,
so.
no, the guys making it. It was like an independent.
guys
thing.
making it were like, they'll pull up.
They saw an opportunity, but they were making it as a
Even the way
serious
it's edited
documentary.
is clever, so I
Well, to
mean-
be fair, it was like nearly 10 years ago. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't
Yeah,
like
it's like-
state of the art, and it was meant to be shown on TV. It
the
was shown on
Half-Sea
ITV.
Spinal
or whatever.
Tap. It's basically. It's,
Aye. So it just shows you.
Yeah, definitely.
They hatred and the parents that guy of the
Tony
fuck is-
Hadley.
Aye,
That's
Tony
the one,
Hadley.
Tony Hadley,
They
Big
would have been
Tony.
like, hey, right, no, guys, best behaviour. This is a serious documentary.
Yeah, totally.
They wouldn't have seen the humour, but clearly it was.
Which
obviously,
probably made it even better. The fact
exactly.
that you've done that.
So it just shows you can actually get wrapped up in your own bullshit, and you can be
course you
making
can.
you can be making a joke while you're trying to be serious, and that's usually what's
Oh,
more.
absolutely,
That's
man.
what's more popular.
Become a parody of yourself.
It's why things are probably one-hit wonders. Hadaway, What Is Love?
Yeah.
It does seem like a joke song, doesn't
Of course
it?
it
But it
does.
was totally Scatman. He was probably like
Jim, I'm doing it,
serious.
I'm a scat
Well, he's dead
man.
now, of course, but
Is he, aye?
oh, he died years
That's
ago.
awesome.
He
I'm actually glad to hear that.
said with the most straight face ever. You can never say you're glad that someone's dead. You know what I mean? It's brilliant.
Jimmy Savile.
Oh, I'm very glad he's dead. Obviously,
There you go. So
probably not as much as a lot of folk are glad
yeah.
with their gaping.
Yeah, they can.
no, that's terrible.
Yeah, but no, it just still haunts their dreams, though. That's the problem.
Yeah, we don't have the night terrors to deal with.
Aye.
We just have the
Oh,
jokes.
do you know what else? What song? It's actually quite a catchy wee tune. But I can't remember. She played at the MTV Awards. That there's no joke here.
Don't say Nicki Minaj.
No. What, is that her name?
She can fuck off.
Is that that black? No.
Ariana Grande or something.
I don't
like
even know what Nicki
No,
Minaj is.
I don't know that. She's a fucking human embodiment of that Pokemon with
Yes, you're right.
Jinx or something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Well,
Pika.
Sphinx.
Yeah.
She's a
Aye,
fucking
so what song were you going to talk
horrid
about?
Aye,
person.
that boom clap something. Boom clap. Tell my
No,
heart goes.
that's Charlie XCX. That's Icona Pop. Or no,
That's a-
Charlie XCX.
That's a cool wee tune.
That's just a series of noises that
That's
people
the
make.
girl. that girl. That's the one who goes.
Make
I
those noises,
don't
you're-
care. I crashed my car into the bridge. I don't
Oh,
care.
is that her?
It goes. That I shoved your stuff into a case and chucked it
Aye.
down the
I
still like that
stairs.
tune.
That's Icona Pop. That's Charlie XCX. She's a great. I think that style of
What else I was going to
things
say?
she's got, she's brilliant.
I saw that I saw that interview awards, and I literally I watched it, and my missus was laughing at me because she's like, "Fuck you like that?" So I was like, "It's a catchy. That's a really catchy."
I think she's got. She's
definitely got
she's
something.
not a one-hit wonder because she's collaborated on everything right now.
I didn't know who that was, but I was genuinely watching. I was going like, I hope she keeps writing or does
Collaboration
something.
wise,
Really cool.
somebody that wasn't there that should have been was Calvin Harris. He collaborated.
He's everywhere.
Heart problems. What was all that about?
What, really?
I know we spoke about the EMAs last week, but
Is it because Rita Ora is no longer with him?
oh, he's been every one of his fucking collaborators. He's fucking pumped.
Aye.
You know,
Especially
that's
that
terrible.
John
what's
Mayer.
his name? Aye, John Mayer. Aye.
He's pumped him.
Ah, nice.
You've been harassed.
Ah,
You've been harassed.
harassed. Aye. Is that's for something else?
Actually,
surely?
I was going to say
Big
that
Rolf?
that could be
I
wrong.
was going to say it. Wait a minute. There we go.
Oh, this is back to Pedo Corner, didn't it?
Pedo Corner and
So,
Celebrity Beasts.
What we doing? We're wrapping this up tonight, then.
I think it's
I think we're probably-
time to leave these people to their own demonic thoughts.
Sorry, folks.
Yeah, you're right.
Aye.
Demonic thoughts as it is.
Yep.
Own sordid affairs. Because at the end of the day, everybody
worse than
enjoys.
us.
Yeah. If you're listening to this, you're the reason we keep doing this. All two of you.
That in the slang, you daubers.
I know you dirty bitches. But feel free to hit us up actually on Facebook and stuff like that as well.
Smack us up.
That'd be really nice.
Not us as individuals, just the show.
Just search for, was it NHC Music Podcast Show?
Aye, but I think it's like facebook.com/ is it NHC Walking the Wild Side or something like that?
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Wait, you may want to fix that, Jamie.
We can't
Anyway,
fix
no, you
that.
can't change it.
Unfortunately, we can't. What I think we should do though, and this is another thing I was going to point out actually publicly, is I think we'll get ourselves a .com that will point there.
Yeah,
that's a good
We'll
idea.
get a .com. We'll
That's
sort
a
it out.
genius show.
Yeah, because that way we'll have a nice, catchy little name, and everyone can stop asking what the address is. But
Yeah,
I
'cause
see.
you
I
keep
see.
getting us
But then
we
again,
keep
the
getting
YouTube one's quite easy to find.
I was going to say, for now, guys, just go to youtube.com/NHC podcast. Easy.
Leave
Yeah,
a
man.
comment or fuck knows my Twitter.
Actually,
so
yeah,
don't
leave
go
your comments because it means that's probably an easier way for us to get back to you as well. And if you want to leave a cheapy one, just
Aye, go for it. We'll read
find
it out
where
on
you
air.
live. We'll read it out on air stuff. Yeah, anything you want, any questions you got,
everything.
we'll put them out on air.
We'll have
if we
more-
can,
we'll
if
have
we
more
can.
Equally,
guests.
if there's folk we've ever slagged, it'd be quite good to get them on.
In fact,
I know
if
it would be
we got
intimidating.
enough sort of,
Welcome to the bear
Come
pit.
at us, plant.
Yeah.
yeah.
Bono.
Said the guy to the Triffid. Right. Okay. It's
I was
getting
going to
silly.
put on some terrible Led Zeppelin thing there,
But
but
then that's all Led Zeppelin.
that's all Led Zeppelin there. Sorry, yep.
Oh, we've just argued.
Ah,
Thanks for listening.
thank you.
Thanks a lot,
Cheers.
guys.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye. Night.
He moved out from his hometown on his own for the first time, not like the last time. This time it's real. He left behind those awful memories, burned by a witch hunt. They dictate the mind he was meant to be. So find your feet and make mistakes. Take on the world at your own pace. 'Cause once young, we were friends. Build a time, build a time, build a time, time to follow. Time, build a time, build a time, time to follow. So many people in this town, I can't seem to find you around. That I've been build a time, build a time, build a time, time to follow. Find the truth in their eyes. It's hidden behind the subtext and lies. The spine is falling deeper into the trap. He'll climb the highest peak to show his love, but
Well, the feeling will never be mutual and never will. So find your feet and make mistakes. Take on the world at your own pace. 'Cause once young we were friends. So we'll build a town, build a town, build a town, town on fire. Build a town, build a town, build a town, town on fire. So many people in this town, I just can't seem to find you around. Build a town, build a town, build a town, town on fire. Once young, once young, we were friends. Once young, once young, we were friends. Once young, once young, we were friends. Once young, once young.